All right, so starting on page 41, we have equations of proportional relationships. Two quantities are proportional. Remember, if the ratios comparing them are equivalent. So this ratio is called the constant of proportionality, right? When we have equal ratios, we're finding the constant of proportionality. Proportional relationships can be represented by an equation in the form y equals kx, where k is the constant of proportionality. So a linear relationship is proportional when the ratio of y to x is a constant, right? So y to x is equal to k. So if we're looking at this equation, every time it goes over 1, it's going, I'm sorry. Yes, every time it goes over 1, it's going up 3. So 3 times 1 would be here. They gave you a really awful graph for that, for showing it, but that is what it is. All right, so example 1, identifying the constant of proportionality in equations. If Olivia bought 6 containers of yogurt for $7.68, the equation y equals 1.28x can be used to represent the situation. Where'd they get that 1.28 from? That's our constant of proportionality, or our unit rate. So they did cost per container. So they took this divided by this, right? 7.68 divided by 6, and out pops 1.28. All right. Identify the constant of proportionality, then explain what it represents. Remember, k is the coefficient. So this thing right here is our constant of proportionality, 1.28. Remember, that is also our unit rate. The constant of proportionality means that the cost of each container of yogurt is, same thing, $1.28, because our unit rate is the same as our constant of proportionality. All right, so use this equation to figure out what the constant of proportionality is, part A, and what does it mean, part B. Try that out. No. All right, so remember, the constant of proportionality is this right here, the coefficient. So 195 is your constant of proportionality. What does it mean? Well, miles in hours. So miles per hour. It means the airplane travels 195 miles per hour. Does that make sense? All right, so that's page 42. Looking at page 43. Looking at this, we've already written this. So if our equation is y equals kx, we can find k by dividing both sides by x. X divided by x is 1. So 1k is just k, and we're left with y divided by x. So we can find the constant of proportionality there. You've known that, right? With our proportional relationships, you could figure out that constant by taking y divided by x. So here, to find it, cost in gallons, they've got cost per gallon. So they're dividing. They got $3.89 per gallon. So the constant of proportionality is 3.89. Then they're just putting that into the equation. Remember, y equals kx. they're putting this in for k to get y equals 3.89x. That's it. So figure this out. If a mechanic charges $270 for 5 hours of work on a car, write an equation that compares the total cost to the number of hours he works on a car. So cost per hour. They're asking you for the unit rate. Remember, per means divided by. So take your cost per hour to figure out your unit rate. So K is equal to what? Try that out. Make sure you're understanding how to do this. One day,
Bro, we have not been fed for like 3 weeks.
Or last week.
But okay. We were fed last week. I was talking to Taylor last week.
I know, because he's so fluid in there.
Bro, we have no friendship. Yeah, it's weird. I know.
No judgment here, just noticing that it's changing quickly. Because you're talking about it.
Bro, I'm telling her to keep her eyes off me because every time I say something or I even look at the screen, she's like,
Okay.
Like, it's fucking creepy.
Okay,
You
well,
don't just stare at someone.
just stop.
You're not looking at her.
I don't care who was looking at who, honestly. This isn't kindergarten. All right. Cost per hour. So we're taking $270 divided by 5 hours to find our constant of proportionality. Thank you for doing that for me. 270 divided by 5. Then we're just putting it into this equation. So y equals 54x. All right. Finally, the perimeter of a square is proportional to the length of one side. So a square with 10-inch sides has a perimeter of 40 inches. So do you remember getting the equation of a perimeter to be 4 times s, or 4 times the number of sides? Because all of the side lengths are the same, right? So write an equation relating the perimeter of a square to its side length, then find the perimeter of a square with a 6-inch side. So here the perimeter was 40 inches. Here the side length was 10 inches. So we can figure out that 40 divided by 10 is 4. So the constant of proportionality is 4. So you could write the equation y equals 4x. So the perimeter of a square with side of 6 inches is 6 times 4, which is 24. All right, so look at this check. Jack is in charge of a 120,000-gallon community swimming pool. Each spring, he drains the pool in order to clean it. When finished, he refills the pool with fresh water. So we're talking about how fast he can fill the pool. 500 gallons in 5 minutes. So we're trying to find gallons per minute. 500 gallons in 5 minutes. So 500 divided by 5, right? Our y is gallons. Remember, y divided by x equals k. Gallons divided by time in minutes, so minutes. So we're simply saying 500 divided by 5, which is what? 100. This is k. So we have y is equal to 100x, right? Because remember our equation is y, equals kx. Let me grab a better pen. Y equals kx. So once we find k, we can plug it in. How long will it take to become completely filled?
An hour and 40 minutes.
Right, we gotta divide this by 100, is that right?
Oh.
So 1200 minutes. Divide that by 60 to get hours if you want. Does that make sense? All right. So you have a few minutes to get started today, maybe at least get one done so you're thinking about it. And tomorrow we're going to work on page 47 and 1-5 in the reinforcement packet. So this is page 47. If you'd rather complete it in the reinforcement packet, that is completely fine. That's the only thing getting turned in anyhow. So you got about 4 minutes. Try one of these at least.